Your life as a soldier, from urban warfare in 2026 to commanding ghost drones in 2089. Fallujah-Echo, 2026. The wall is cold against your back. Not the romantic kind of cold. Not the kind poets write about. The kind that seeps through your body armor and presses into your spine like a warning. You can smell the city. Burning plastic. Diesel. Something organic you've learned not to name. Your pulse is in your ears. Not fast, steady, trained. 68 beats per minute because you've been here before. Not this alley, but this moment. Every soldier knows this moment. The second before the world decides whether you move forward or get carried out. You are 23 years old. You signed the paper at 18 because the recruiter had a firm handshake and your town had no jobs. You trained for 11 weeks. You deployed to a city whose name you mispronounced for the first 2 months. And now you are crouched in a destroyed apartment building in a district your maps call Sector 7 Fallujah-Echo, waiting for a signal that may or may not come from a commander who is watching your helmet feed from a screen 300 miles away. This is war in 2026. Not a video game. Not a movie. A slow, grinding, intimate negotiation with mortality. Your squad mate to your left is 18. He still has acne. He's trying not to breathe too loud. The signal comes. You move. And here is the gut punch they never put in the brochure. The people who send you to fight are never the last ones standing in the rubble. Only the soldiers are. That's not a coincidence. That's the architecture. The grind. Ranks 2026 to 2040. You survive. That's the first surprise. You come home with both legs, functional hearing in one ear, and a recurring dream about a stairwell you'll spend the next decade trying to forget. You are 24. Technically a veteran. Practically invisible. The Transition Assistance Program gives you a pamphlet and a handshake. The pamphlet has a stock photo of a smiling soldier holding a briefcase. You stare at it for a long time. You re-enlist. Not because you love war. Because the military is the only institution that has ever told you exactly who you are. Private first class. Then specialist. Then sergeant. Identity through rank. Clarity through hierarchy. By 2030, you are staff sergeant. The wars have shifted, not ended, shifted. The language has changed. Kinetic engagement instead of firefight. Autonomous support assets instead of drones. The technology has changed faster than the doctrine. You are now leading a squad that includes 2 humans and 4 semi-autonomous ground units. Small tracked robots, roughly the size of a German Shepherd, that handle breaching and reconnaissance. You name them. The military tells you not to name them. You name them anyway. You are 31 years old. You've buried 4 people you loved. You've written 3 letters to families you'll never meet again. You drink, not heavily, but consistently. Every soldier has their consistency. By 2035, the wars are fought differently. The battlefields are quieter, more invisible. Cyberspace is a front. Orbital infrastructure is a front. Your body is still deployed to physical spaces, but the thinking, the targeting, the logistics, the intelligence, that happens in server farms in Virginia and Singapore. You adapt. That's what soldiers do. By 2038, you are a master sergeant. You are managing systems more than people. You are fluent in 3 languages and 4 tactical software platforms. You have a daughter. She calls you on Sundays. She pronounces your rank correctly because you taught her young. She asks why you're still in. You don't have a clean answer. The pivot. 2040 to 2060. The body starts filing complaints. Not dramatically. Slowly. A knee that predicts rain. A shoulder that clicks. Tinnitus that turns silence into white noise. You are 41. The military has an offer. Transition to the Ghost program. You've heard about it. Everyone has. A classified initiative buried inside 3 different defense appropriations bills. The idea: experienced combat veterans retrained as remote strategic operators. Your battlefield knowledge, your instincts, fed into systems that have no body to lose. You say yes. The transition takes 18 months. You learn things that rewrite your understanding of warfare. You learn that the conflicts you fought in the 2020s were, in retrospect, simple. Messy, yes. Deadly, yes. But simple, 2 sides, physical terrain, identifiable combatants. By 2045, conflict has no edges. There are state actors and non-state actors and corporate actors and algorithmic actors. There are wars that are never declared, fought entirely in the electromagnetic spectrum. There are stabilization events that last 11 years in nations that technically aren't at war with anyone. You become a warrant officer, then a chief warrant officer 3. You are now operating from a facility that looks like an office park in suburban Maryland. Climate controlled. Ergonomic chairs. A cafeteria that serves decent food. And from here, from this chair, you reach into cities 10,000 miles away. You feel nothing physically. That's what they told you was the advantage. They were right. They were also wrong in ways that take years to understand. By 2055, you are 56 years old. You have a second grandchild. You attend the christening on video call because your clearance level doesn't allow for unscheduled international travel. You watch your daughter hold the baby on a screen and you realize that every major moment in the last 20 years has been mediated by a rectangle of glass. You get promoted to Warrant Officer 5. It's the highest you can go in that track. A ceiling built into the architecture. You apply for a commission. The command, 2060 to 2089. You are a lieutenant colonel at 63. This surprises everyone, including you. Most officers commission young. You commissioned late, burning through ranks with a record that 2 different generals described as irregular but undeniable. Your command is the 1st Ghost Warfare Group, a unit that has no physical address anyone outside the building is authorized to know. You command 12 human officers and approximately 4,000 autonomous systems, swarms of what the public calls ghost drones, though the technical designation is something longer and harder to pronounce. They are not drones in the old sense. They don't simply execute coordinates. They reason. They adapt. They negotiate competing objectives in real time using decision architectures that you helped write the doctrine for. You are their commander. Their conscience. Technically, that word, conscience, starts appearing in your nightmares. Because here is what nobody briefed you on when you started this career. The further you rise, the more invisible the violence becomes. At 23, you felt every decision in your body. At 70, you sign documents. The documents authorize actions. The actions are carried out by systems that have no fear, no hesitation, no letters to write home. The efficiency is extraordinary. The distance is a kind of wound. By 2085, you are an admiral, a title that feels absurd to a kid from a landlocked town who just wanted a steady paycheck. You testify before a Senate subcommittee about the ethical frameworks governing autonomous engagement. A senator who has never served asks you if the ghost drones feel anything. You pause longer than you intend to. No, you say. They don't. You don't say what you're thinking, that somewhere across 62 years of service, neither do you anymore. Not in the way you once did. The capacity is there. The sensation is there. But the wiring between feeling and action has been routed through so many layers of protocol and plausible deniability and strategic necessity that the original signal is almost unrecognizable. In 2089, you are 90 years old. You are the oldest active duty officer in the history of the United States Armed Forces. You are also, by most measures, one of the most powerful people alive. You sit in a chair. The chair is comfortable. Outside the window is a garden that someone else tends. On your desk is a console, and through that console, you can reach into any theater of operation on Earth. You think about an alley, a cold wall, a pulse in your ears. You think about an 18-year-old boy with acne who was afraid to breathe too loud. You think about how that boy became this. And you understand, finally, the oldest truth in the architecture of war. The weapon is never the machine. The weapon is the person willing to keep saying yes, one rank at a time, one decade at a time, until the machine and the man become indistinguishable. And by then, it doesn't matter who's in the chair. The chair commands.